We're making succulent beeswax candles that are green and pink. And we are going to show you the process on how we make these.
Alright, so come over here and show them the molds.
So these are the molds that we pour the molten wax into to actually shape the candles from the wax. And so this is how we attach the tabs onto the bottom to keep the wick in. If you ever looked at the bottom of a candle, you might be able to see a little metal disc. This is how it's attached.
And take the pliers, pinch it together.
You pinch it, so it's on the wick and it won't move.
And we put a bobby pin.
Bobby pin to hold it up in the mold,
I can get it
so the wax will go around it and it won't fall in.
You pull the wick, which makes it become nice and taut on this side.
And it's nice and straight, so that it goes through the very middle of the candle.
We pull it down a little bit below the bobby pin so that the tab gets covered with wax.
So then it won't come out and the wick won't get pulled through the candle.
Try to even them up. We already had our molds pre-wicked. When we pull wick through our mold, we pull enough that we can make 5 or 6 different candles before having to re-wick the mold again.
So, but right now we're only making 2. Yeah. One in each mold.
This is a sewing tool, and it's really for pulling thread through or turning sleeves or collars or things that you make, turning them inside out. But we use it to wick our molds. Then we take the pliers.
And crimp it again.
Take our bobby pin.
Pop it on there. And we make it nice and taut at the bottom, which will happen in a couple seconds. Okay, we make it nice and taut.
And we do this on a cookie sheet tray so that if the hot wax spills, it doesn't go all over the kitchen counter.
Yeah, because we got a nice wooden kitchen counter. So that would,
okay.
Yeah.
We buy these on Amazon.
They're the little tabs that go in the bottom of the candle.
Right, why don't you go show them the melting wax.
So over here is where we actually melt the wax on the stove. They're in a double boiler, and we have little candy thermometers up at the top. If you could see, little candy thermometers. And this is the pink wax. It goes at the very top. It hasn't melted yet, but it will melt. And
it melts when it gets to about 140 degrees. We don't let it get higher than 200 degrees or it will burst into flames. Beeswax is combustible.
And back here we got the green, which is the same for the green, it's just a different color.
So we just keep an eye on it while it's melting. You want to get a shot inside here? This is where the water boils. If the water's getting too low, we fill it up a little bit.
And when the steam is created, it goes onto this top pot, which then heats up the wax in that bag. And it doesn't actually melt the bag, but it melts the wax inside.
It makes it easier to pour, and it makes it easier to clean up.
We actually store it in these bags.
Show the green.
Yeah. So that's the green wax back there.
So beeswax is yellow. You know, for the next segment, we should get a chunk of beeswax out of the... We should get a chunk of beeswax out of the basement and show them what it looks like.
We have massive chunks, like that kind of look like cheese wheels.
Yeah, get big wheels of wax.
Yeah, because my grandpa actually has bees, and that's where we get the honey. Not the honey. Well, we do get honey. We get honey, but we also get the wax from it. So yay. Okay. So earlier we said that the wax has a natural yellow color, and we're going to show you the raw product of like what we get. And so yeah, it comes in these big wheels, which I said looks like a cheese wheel. And
because Grandpa melts it in the bottom of a 5-gallon bucket.
5-gallon bucket.
5-gallon pail.
And this white stuff on it is the minerals actually coming out of the wax.
It's all natural.
Cool. Little minerals.
The little dark spots are honey.
Little bits of just honey. And then we break it off so that it will actually fit in these little pots over here. And this is what it looks like when we break it up. We actually break it up with a giant flat blade screwdriver.
Yeah. And then we clean it, which is a whole other process.
Yeah, it's a completely different process. for another day.
Yeah, that's another video.
Yeah, it's another video of that. But see, there's one of the marks where we've hit it. See, with the flat blade, and it will go bang.
And then we smack it with a hammer.
Yeah, it smashes it apart. Because we only smash it apart because we have to stick it in there, and then it melts down.
And the honey comes in different colors of yellow. Holden, do you know what makes it the different colors? Do you know?
No.
It depends on what the bees are working on. So if the bees are working on clover, it seems like we get a really nice bright yellow color. But when they work on things like buckwheat and chestnuts, then it becomes a little darker wax. And that's true of the honey as well. You get different flavors and different colors of honey depending on what the bees are working on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, we've got enough pink melted in our little bag. And the temperature is it's about, what, 175? Thereabouts?
Yeah, just about.
Okay, and then the green is almost there.
Yes, we need to let the green.
Yeah, we don't need to melt it all. We just need to use enough natural gas to melt enough to make a candle. We don't have to melt the whole bag. If we were mixing a new color, we would melt all the wax with the coloring so we get a nice even color. But these two have already been melted and mixed up, so we really don't need to do that.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, the molds are still the way they were.
we're just waiting for the wax.
And by the way, they're a bit squishy.
They're latex.
I know, but they're
Okay.
blah, blah, blah.
So we're going to take, Holden, are you watching? We're going to take our thermometer out so we don't drip wax all over the stove and give your father a conniption fit.
Yeah, because he yells at us whenever we pour the little bit of the wax on stuff.
So then we take our pot holder, because the wax is very hot. Remember, it melts at 140 degrees, right? So we pull it out and we get our pot holder like this so we don't burn our hands.
And we just pour the tips of them to make the tops pink.
Yeah, we just make the tops pink.
Because the candle is technically upside down in these little molds.
That one we poured a lot of pink in.
Yeah, we poured quite a bit of
That
pink in
one's
this
good.
one. So that's going to be a very pinky
A very
boy.
pink candle.
A very, very
It's not
pink
a
boy. And
All right.
but
So now
and
we
also
let
look,
it-
we got a little bit of wax right here. That's
We
falling.
let it harden. Let it harden.
It's
Oh,
hard. It's
gracious
a tiny
child.
little bit.
Yeah, put it back in the pot.
So yeah, we stick these back in here so they melt again.
Yeah, we try not to waste anything
Yeah.
because it takes the bees a lot of gathering flowers to make honey. We'll have to
Yeah.
look. I
And they
forget
actually use the
exactly what
wax
it
to
is.
seal it.
Do you remember how many flowers they have to go to make a pound of wax? I forget.
But fun fact, did you know honey is actually bee vomit?
And it's the only food that never spoils.
Mhm.
Honey never ever spoils.
Did you know they've actually
Are you
found
getting
it?
a picture of this to show
Yes.
like how we have the
Yeah,
pink
I've shown it.
and some of it? Yeah, this one's
Well-
going to be way more pink. Show them the
But-
candles again so they kind of
Really-
get what we're talking
But
about.
where'd the candles go? Where'd the candles
Put
go?
them away. Here, I thought I left them over there. Here's one.
So, yeah, here's one of these little candles that we're making. And we're making a pointy one and this little round one. But, so, fun fact, did you know they have found honey in ancient tombs and it's actually still edible? That's because honey never goes bad.
And
so,
the wax as well.
yeah, the wax you can use, you can
take it
seal
out.
it up
Yeah,
too.
they used to seal jars with it in Egypt.
Yeah, you
and
could, so you can, if you got like a wooden cup or canoe, you could seal it with honey, not honey, wax.
beeswax.
I need to sort it out. Honey and wax are two different things.
But they have found big chunks of wax in the Pacific Ocean where Spanish ships went down carrying loads of beeswax, great big chunks of it, and it washes up on the shores, like around Oregon and stuff. And it's a great big chunk of beeswax. You could take it and melt it down today, even though it's 300 or 400 years old, and still use it. Beeswax never goes bad.
Or honey. You can still
And
eat
honey
honey.
never goes bad.
Yeah, they found it in ancient Egyptian tombs and you can still eat it. That's like the third time I've said it.
Yeah. Okay, this one needs to harden a little more because we put more pink in it than usual.
So,
But this
yeah.
one is done. Do you want to pour this one?
Yeah. So now we're going to pour the base to it. But if you look, this one's, I'm pretty sure it's, this, wait, which one's the pointy one? Okay, this is the round one like we showed, but this is the pointy
that's
one.
the pointy one.
And we have pointy ones, but it's always in the beginning. So yeah, this pointy, that's round, which the round is these little guys.
So we like to let the wax harden up a little bit, just so that the green doesn't completely mix with it. But we still want it to
somewhat bind.
Yeah, to bind to it, so it
otherwise
becomes a whole candle.
Otherwise the candle would split in half.
We don't want that. So we fill it right up to the top. This one I think needs to harden a little bit more.
So yeah, this is since we accidentally poured a bit too much wax. And so we're back and we're pouring the second candle. Ouch. So yeah, oh, that might be burned. Get some aloe.
It's still hot. I mean, even though you're not sticking your fingers in the steam, it's still hot over there. You gotta be careful.
Yeah, we might need to get a bit of aloe gel for that one.
No, we're all right. All right, here we go.
There we go.
There we go.
So I had a bit too much.
So let me turn this off. So now we're gonna wait for them to cure for 4 hours.
So yeah, I guess see in 4 hours maybe.
Yep, and then we'll crack them out of the mold.
Yeah.
And cut the wicks.
So yeah, that'll probably be tomorrow.
Did you get a shot of what they look like where they're drying?
So the actual thin parts actually harden much quicker. If you look at this candle, where we just poured it a little while ago, you can see the tips already starting to harden. And this will start to harden eventually. You can see it harden like on the bobby pin and stuff. But yeah, that's because thin coats dry quicker. So it's been a while, and we're gonna show you.
I'm gonna put my little bits of wax back in there because we don't want to waste any of it. So I just kind of scrape it and flatten it out. Sometimes we make floating candles, and when we do that, once the candle is cured and popped out of the mold, we turn them upside down and put them on a frying pan to melt the bottom so that water can't get through the wick. We made a video about that, didn't we?
I think so.
And I can put it on YouTube. Alright, are you going to get me taking this one off? So this is what was holding the wick up. So the wick is nice and straight in the candle, but now that the wax has gotten a little bit solid, we can take that out, and then we scrape off all of this wax and put it back in the pot for the next time that we make another candle. Right?
So yeah, this is basically what we do. Scrape it so that it will sit flat.
This one had quite a bit of wax, didn't it?
So yeah, guess we'll see you tomorrow when we
You want to crack them out of the molds tomorrow? We can.
Yeah,
because they won't be cured till 8 o'clock at night. It takes 4 hours for them to cure.
So yeah.
We can do that in the morning if you want to.
In the morning, these will be cracked out of the mold, and we will show you that. So yeah. So we have let them cure. It's the next day, and yeah, here's a candle, which I'm personally interested on this one because it is mostly pink, which we normally don't make a lot of mostly pinks, but I mean, it's mostly pink, so that's kind of cool.
Alright, here's the other one. Ready?
And here's the second one.
Back it up a little. That one came out cool.
So this is like the product that you saw. And it's a lumpy bumpy candle. So yeah. So yeah, this is what we have made. From that, it went from those big chunks of wax that we showed you to this stuff. Little candles.
And we sell them on Etsy.
Yes, we do. So if you want, you can go buy them on Etsy. I don't really know the store link, but you can go buy it if you really